What's happening, YouTube? It's K Mega 405 live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers. Now, the big talk in gaming right now is the PlayStation experience. Rightfully so. It's a conference showing games that we haven't seen, a lot of trailers, a lot of anticipation, getting PlayStation fans excited again because they've been getting railroad and curb stomped for the last about 5-6 months. So now it seems that everything is settled and PlayStation is back, right? Well, anyway, I did a reaction video, podcast with Next Gen and Zoe70 and others, and had a good time. And then I enjoyed listening to their take. I will say this about the show: Sony did one hell of a show. It was fantastic. I enjoyed every minute of it. I enjoyed it so much I even listened to the people at the end that was doing the commentating and having guests come on, and then they were talking about these games individually because they had me intrigued right from the very beginning all the way to the end. That's how a conference is supposed to be. PlayStation has been very lackluster this whole generation with their conference. Their last best conference to me was at E3 a year and a half ago. Well, not a year and a half, 2 years ago, pretty much. And that E3 where they showed Final Fantasy VII Remake and all those, that, Shenmue 3, that was a good conference, but it still, it still wasn't as good as this one. This one was very, very entertaining. So kudos to the PlayStation staff for making one hell of a show. You know what? Look, if guys want to wear tight ass shirts, look, the shirt was tight because it had Wipeout on it. Big, huge PlayStation 1 fan. So, yeah, that was really cool. That was one thing that really, that I really enjoyed because they were going back to the roots, showing some of those, paying respects and showing love to the old PlayStation 1 games. Hopefully they'll do a lot more than that, with that, because they have so many awesome games on the PlayStation 1. It's one of my favorite consoles of all time. And, it just tugged on the heartstrings, you know what I'm saying? I enjoyed that. Of course, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, the trailer itself didn't look that great. But then after if you've seen the Capcom, the Capcom gameplay, it's quick. It looks like it needs some polish. But man, when they get down with them infinity rings, hot damn, those animations, those face animations and all that, man, Capcom has got really good at doing that, and that game looks like it's going to be dope as fuck. I mean, straight off the rack, man. I cannot wait. And another big thing that I seen that I see Capcom needs to get a lot of credit, because as bad as Street Fighter has been, that Akuma that they showed was so damn dope looking. Like, I could not contain myself. I wanted that Akuma on Street Fighter 5. It made me want to turn on the PC and get the PlayStation 5 rolling and start practicing. That's how cool Akuma looked. And you've seen that they're going to start giving more characters, so hopefully they can give new life to the game, and rightfully so, because I am a Street Fighter fan. I am a fighter fan altogether. So but shout out to Capcom for that, because I am so sick of fucking Resident Evil remakes. Look, Resident Evil 7 looks interesting, but I'm so burnt out on Resident Evil that I don't even want to touch a controller that says Resident Evil on my TV screen or computer monitor. So I'm just not interested. But there was that Gravity Rush 2. That looked really cool. The RPG looked like a cartoon. I think it's Kuni Mooney 2 or something. I can't pronounce it. Yakuza 6. Man, just a lot of good games. A lot of games that you could tell that's not going to be very long to play, maybe 3, 4, 5 hours, but those AA games that those B games that's kind of like the filler. You love those type of games. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation seemed like they had plenty of those. Of course, they hit the home run with The Last of Us 2, had everybody excited about that. It was a great show. As a gaming fan, you have to respect it. It was a fantastic show. It fed their fan base. Nothing wrong with that. If you said that show was bad, then you just hate Sony, I believe. You know what I'm saying? And I know My boy Crap, he's not impressed with it. And I have to agree to a certain point with him and Mooch when it comes to the point of, this is what PlayStation should have been doing from the beginning. I definitely agree with that. But now we getting into the talks of where I have the negatives, and it's not really the negatives towards any of the games, because all the games looked cool. Let me give a big shout out to that game. Niho looks so dope. Reminds me of Onimusha, or Onimusha, however you want to pronounce it. It looks fantastic. I heard Zoe70 said the controls was clunky, but that was during the demo or whatever. So hopefully they fix the issues by launch, because for me that looks like a day one purchase. That's one thing I'll definitely say that the PlayStation did that it has not done this generation, and that is make me want to buy a PlayStation 4. So for that, kudos. Now, of course, I do have some complaints. One, the probably biggest complaint for me is the whole PlayStation 1 game situation. I could go to some places and I could buy a PlayStation 1 game for like $1. Now, to remaster them, I understand that it's going to cost a little bit of money, but not the money that I'm already hearing that they're going to charge $10, $15, even close to $20 for some bigger titles once they start getting this thing rolling. And that would be disgusting, because it's not like they're truly remastering these games. They're still going to have the old school controls. They'll just look better. And we're talking about a game that's 20 years plus old. I just find that to, I'm all about customer service, and I find that to be really shitty if they go that route. Now, $5, $6, $7 at the most even for the bigger PlayStation 1 titles, that's fine, that's cool. But still, regardless, going any higher than that is fraudulent. Then you also have games that's coming out that will not be out until at the latest probably 2020, because that Kojima game, it's not coming out anytime soon. People are bringing up Spider-Man, talking about God of War. That is not coming out this year. That's a fact. You have where the hell is Persona? I mean, Persona is. They've been talking about Persona's coming out this year, but I mean they haven't showed anything else to it. Also there was where was Shenmue? I mean, Shenmue was like talked about 2 years ago, and then nobody knows anything else about it. I mean, you've asked people for money for the game. You at least keep people up, keep people up and understand that game is still being in the works. Show something, show a glimmer of it to make people more excited and maybe want to donate some more money into the Kickstarter, which I totally disagree with, because Sony has enough money to do that. But still, regardless, let people know about the game. No Final Fantasy VII. Well, that's probably maybe about another 3 years away. No Detroit. There was other games that they could have showed that I was looking forward to, and they didn't show them. So, which was kind of crazy. So no Kingdom Hearts 3. Not even talk about the Kingdom Hearts games that's supposed to be available for the PlayStation only. So I don't know. There was still some shortcomings, of course, but overall, like I said, it was a great positive show. It's not so much nitpicking, it's just the fact of just being honest. One of the big things that I want to say before I get out of here, because I know this video is longer than normal, apologize for that, but I do want to touch on the whole some of these Xbox guys and girls that's coming out and saying that Microsoft is done, that they're in trouble, and then coming out and saying they don't have variety. I beg to differ, just for the mere fact of all you got to do is look at Xbox at launch and see that they had a different lineup than normal. They had Rise, they had D4, they had Max and the Curse of the Brotherhood, they had Killer Instinct, Dead Rising 3. You go further down the line, they had Sunset Overdrive, they had Quantum Break, Recore, Horizon for the Forza series. That was started in this generation, arcade style racer. You've had a quite robust game slate, what I'm saying, there that's available, and I don't understand how can anybody say that Xbox is not showing variety. Plus, you just add for the backwards compatible games that they have been releasing with the JRPGs, and I understand that they're older games, but I feel that this is kind of like a barometer to let them see what games people are interested in and that they buy. It's not that Microsoft's fault that Quantum Break didn't sell well. You see what I'm saying? You know, Rise sold decent, so did Sunset Overdrive 2, so hopefully we'll get those type of games. But look at what's coming up at 2017. There's really no bro shooters in 2017. You have MMO, you have Sea of Thieves, you have an RTS, you have Halo Wars 2, you have State of Decay 2, you have you'll definitely have another Forza. We'll know something about what's going down with Killer Instinct. You have Crackdown. You'll have your very first slasher in a long time for Microsoft, which will be Scalebound. You'll have Cuphead. There's plenty of games that's going to be available, and they're not the same old. So I think that people need to check themselves instead of wolfing tickets and crying just because they seen a good show from Sony. Sony did what they had to do. Let Microsoft work. Remember, Microsoft at one time had people that did not even want to buy their system. It took them a year and a half to make this turnaround, which is quick and fantastic. Just think of what the PlayStation 3 had to do. It took a whole generation in order for people to start buying games and systems for them last gen. So I think people need to pump their brakes. You know what I'm saying? It trips me out that people be on that bullshit. But I definitely like to hear your thoughts about it. Everybody have a good one. Peace.
So Dwayne, all that's missing is the flip-ups and the fade. I got Whitley's for days. Kanishiwa, it's not a game, no. Riches in the bitches, what I came for. Then I switched my angle. Was unchained like I'm the Django. Now that shit dangled to my